Sorry about that, guys. My StreamYard was acting all glitchy, so I had to back out and delete the last live stream. So this is a completely new live stream. So everyone that was in my last live stream, please come on back.
So I just want to make sure that everyone's aware about that. You can't just have.
I'm going to have to take them at their good faith statement that they are finding this in a timely way as soon as within 15 days of the moving aware that they're going to list the potential works. Okay. And hopefully not. Okay, so that I think takes care of our motion to compel. It sounds like you guys are, everybody's in agreement as to what needs to be turned over. As to Mr. Tony's statements, that's going to be separate.
You're welcome, KC.
Yeah, it's granted. And I don't know that there was, let's see if there was is there a proposed order attached to it? If not.
Yeah, my StreamYard was being extremely glitchy for some reason. That's why I had to do it.
So, I'm working with what's said publicly, so.
Draft one, we'll get it.
Okay, draft it to me. I have notes here that if anybody has any questions, we can go back on the record and go over what it was granted. Okay. All right, so let's go to the.
There's the link for Rock Chalk and Tia.
And we're back in third quarter planning. Adams is quarterbacking this project, and she is looking pretty tired, Jill.
She's stuck, Bill, and that deadline is looming.
It looms for us all, Jill.
Wait a minute. She just pulled up Grammarly.
That is a smart move by Adams. Grammarly is an AI writing partner that helps you make your point.
Look at that, Bill. She just asked Grammarly to help her write a summary of her doc, and she's shortening it. Beautifully done.
Oh, no. Lag on the play. I see messages coming her way.
And it's the CEO, Bill. Can Adams handle the pressure?
Is she? Yeah, she is. She's using Grammarly to stay on the ball, and she's sounding even more confident, Jill.
I mean, she's an MVP, Bill. What a play. I've never seen Monday morning quarterbacking look this good.
They're coming.
Look at that. She's done. She's hitting send. And it's in. And it's in.
It's in.
It's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
It's all over. Download Grammarly for free.
All your favorite brands are now at Petco.
So let's go to the second motion for which I received another response to yesterday. I guess it states reply and response in support of its own petition. So let's go to the original petition and we will start addressing the issues here. Really quickly before we go on to that, we're not addressing, I know that the last time that we were up, we had the motion to suppress and the defense had withdrawn the motion that they had filed. Was there ever an amended motion that was filed on that or not?
Not as of yet, Judge. We're
Okay, so
working on it.
to make notes. So then let's go back to the, all right, state. I have read the response, the reply in support of that you wrote yesterday. I've obviously read the ones that have been previously filed. I know that a lot has happened within the time between the original filing of the petition for order show cause and today. So let's just get started. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. The state filed the petition to show cause on November 3rd. We emailed it to counsel. We did not calendar the matter as a matter of professional courtesy to the respondent. There's in trial, or the trial where previously, there's the expression about ringing the bell. And once the bell is wrong, it can't be unwrong. The state has, on purpose, because of the attention created by this case, specifically by the respondent and his client, not sought to limit public speech by anyone. When this case came in, counsel filed a motion for injunction and protective order. And the premise of that order was essentially so that the court would micromanage discovery and would supersede Chapter 119. That's not tenable. Judge Escanio at the time rightfully denied that motion. The premise of it and counsel's issue was that the elected state attorney at a press conference, she announced the charges. She stated the arrest warrant facts and provided one of the examples in the arrest warrant. As the court would know, the state does not telegraph its case.
Hey, Micah, how you doing? Hey, Rodney. KC.
We did not.
Randy. Yes, you're back.
That was on purpose. The state is thrust into a position, particularly by the defendant's counsel who maintained this case's interest in public, to inform the public that there was actions by the state. And I juxtapose that against the last 48 hours where the state has not made any public comment and has not made any public comment since. The defendant and the respondent have chosen to telegraph their case in public. That is their prerogative, and frankly formed a lot of the basis for the state's motion to compel. Absent statements made by the counsels, the state would not have a basis to move to compel discovery because we wouldn't have known. So to that effect, the state has deliberately sought not to raise this issue. One, as a matter of professional courtesy. Secondarily, because there is a great public attention and interest in this case. And thirdly, and I say this with complete candor, it was benefiting the state. The defendant telegraphing their case benefits our strategy and benefits the state's litigation. So we sought no interest in limiting the defense counsel from telegraphing their case.
The link is for Rock Chalk, Kia, and Bob only.
Rights remain silent, but was unable to. And we were perfectly okay with that. The defendant's attorney walked a very fine line several times, as we outlined. There was this court's hearing on the Arthur hearing, where he made inappropriate remarks.
Oh, that's completely understandable, Bubbly, and I am so honored that you stopped by to watch the video and
Remarks
watch
that
the
they would
channel.
not have, suggested make people fine. The defendant, the respondent walked up to the line when he called the victim, who's deceased, is unable to defend himself. And there's a particular history that comes with humanizing people, and the big elephant in the room is the racial disparity. That cannot be ignored, but the state nonetheless restrained itself. That crossed the line, the respondent crossed the line when he
I've watched your videos too, Bubbly. I think you're an awesome content
I don't know if the
creator.
court has reviewed the video, but it's been available. Court. Not a response to the question, not prompted for no other reason, just volunteered that the victim was sexually battered by a family member. That's not appropriate. That achieves no goal. It is not asserting the innocence of his client. It is not saying the evidence will show that his client is not guilty. It is not saying when the case will be heard next. It's not discussing what preliminary or procedural matters might come up. That was, for lack of a better term, a cheap shot. That was wrong. And that crossed the line. The state is then left with the remedies, or the following options. Do nothing and embolden the behavior that has been progressing and escalating. File a petition to show cause, not calendar it. Contact counsel and say, please stop. File a petition to show cause and calendar it.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars? Waste tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If so,
Or move for a protective order and a restraining order against counsels and the litigants from making public comment. The state took its least restrictive means, and again, out of professional courtesy, filed a petition because it needs to be a matter of record, sent it to counsel, emailed counsel, and said, we are not calendaring the matter. We hope the conduct in the petition ceases. 3 months later, the respondent chose to reply and bring up the matter with the court. The state candidly has not sought a remedy on this matter. Frankly, as far as the state was concerned, because there was also no reply to the state's communication, we thought that it was water under the bridge. And we're here litigating this matter because the respondent chose to. To skip ahead regarding our reply, since the state's petition to show cause, and the state has not amended its petition to show cause or filed a subsequent petition to show cause, the respondent has arguably engaged in further conduct that is further escalating and raising the temperature that requires this court's attention. Again, we discovered this knife throwing not from court pleadings, this knife throwing expert, but from counsels on TV. We discovered that there would be a reenactment video, not from counsels, and there was email communications by the state with counsels during that time regarding.
This is a very interesting case,
but
guys.
from the respondent's co-counsel the day before Thanksgiving going on TV. That is not a way to litigate this case. We then spent, and I outlined in the motion to compel, almost 30 days berating the defense via email to provide us discovery because we did not want to delay the proceedings. We want to review whatever the materials are, decide our strategy, conduct our discovery, and litigate the case. It's been 17 months roughly since the defendant's been arrested. April 3rd, 2024 will be 2 years since Christian was killed. And it feels as this case is moving at a snail's pace. So to put it bluntly, we want to get down to brass tacks. And litigating these collateral matters are not in the state's interest. And it's especially the state has not sought to address this
How you
matter.
doing today?
So the respondent wishing to take up this court's time with that matter rather than getting to the discovery. And frankly, the statements that have been made in the last 48 hours are just increasing that temperature. And if counsel wishes to litigate and get an order from this court, the state welcomes it. We will comply perfectly with an order if this court were to craft one with the Toledo. We provided the court a draft of that order that was affirmed on appeal. The state has no public statements to make about this case. We want to try it. We want to try the defendant and her co-defendants as expeditiously as possible.
In your response, you had also mentioned, and I also happen to see the fact that and I don't know whether you want to address it, but like if you're
This link is for Rock Chalk and Pia only.
there is some sort of docuseries or TV show in the making prior to the trial in this case, where the officers and the witnesses are allegedly, interviews are being stalked.
Hello, Miss
Johnny?
Rock.
I also did it online.
Hello, this
Yes.
StreamYard is really messed up.
States,
Huh?
I said this StreamYard is really messed
I'm
up. It
here.
kept saying invalid link, invalid link. I got it now.
Okay, is she on her way back?
I think she's got company.
Okay.
It wasn't nothing here. It wasn't nothing from here.
Is
Can
AR
you hear
on
me,
his
Robert?
way? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, he's running late. Well, let's just go ahead and go with what you got. We're good.
Okay,
StreamYard is just
someone-
messed up.
Yeah, someone kept trying to come up on panel, open mind perspectives.
Well, I mean,
I
is she
kept
still
kicking
out
them.
there? Or did she leave? The panel's
She
supposed
left.
to be. Okay, well, let's just keep going.
Yeah, I didn't know who that was, so I wasn't gonna allow him on the panel.
She's the old van
has
life.
not ever been approached.
What?
I said she
Is
used
van
to be
life?
van life. I've never had a problem with her,
regarding
but she
TMZ
used to be van life.
regarding our comments and participation in this docuseries. We learned about it almost contemporaneously with one another. We served a subpoena on the defendant's management company for behind the scenes information, contract, et cetera, premised off of the respondent's statement that she was allegedly human trafficked. So we expect that might come up in trial, so we might have to rebut that. The counsel for that company informed us that they were approached by TMZ regarding a docuseries that they wanted to interview his client. At roughly the same time, and the court has the emails in our exhibits, the city of Miami's public information officer received a request from TMZ to interview the lead detective by a person named Brian Andrews, who's a former local newscaster and the president of a PR company. We didn't want to go up anyone's Christmas, and New Year's. So Mr. Abeloff emailed the respondent and his counsels requesting this, whether they were participating in this because it's inappropriate. And 30 hours or so later, we get a response, essentially neither accepting or denying anything. And about 10 days later, we find out from Lexington Capital that on that date, the respondent sat with the defendant's co-defendants for interviews. And there's actually a few matters that came to my attention after the state's reply yesterday. TMZ aired parts of those interviews already as an apparent teaser. So, the damage has been done. There's nothing for the state or the court could have done, but it further reflects and impacts the perspectives and nature of this litigation. And the state wanted to take another step on this too, because again, it was brought to my attention yesterday, in part because the reply was being drafted and matters have been developing. TMZ, I believe, was the first to report the arrest of Mr. and Mrs. Klein. And that reporting stated that they were arrested for tampering with evidence. Clearly, the arrest warrant doesn't state that. Clearly, the facts in the arrest warrant don't state that. Clearly, the state's information that was filed and sealed at the time didn't state that. That was not a correct reporting. And the state has concerns about the communication based on an inference of whatever was told to the claims on scene, because they weren't told that they're charged because they refused to speak to the officers. So given the intimate personal relationship the respondent's been having with TMZ regarding this docuseries,
something just wasn't right. I wasn't 22. I was 8 years old.
State has obvious concerns that there's essentially going to be something televised, and particularly the state's concern because it was alleged by the emails, is that this is being telegraphed from a particular perspective. And the state does not get to air an infomercial of the defendant's guilt before trial. So the defendant should not be either. And that's inappropriate conduct that the court should be aware to.
Judge, I object to Mr. Hanfield addressing the court for this particular motion. He's a victim advocate under Marcy's law. They have no standing to address the court for this particular motion.
Right, so yeah, Mr. Hanfield, right now I want to hear from the defense. You know, you were the one who calendared this, to bring it to, I guess, my attention. It hadn't been brought to my attention before. But given everything that has been going on, particularly the possibility of a docuseries prior to trial, I think that we should be addressing it. So, you know, for whatever reason you brought it to my attention, the state hadn't brought it to my attention, it hadn't been documented, you documented it. So let's discuss it. What is it that you believe is appropriate about what you have been doing with the media, and why is it that you believe you should be allowed to continue to do that?
Sure, Judge. And first of all, I'd like to say that I'm not sure a petition for order to show cause is the proper avenue. I think a motion seeking some type of protective order is more appropriate, but procedurally, the court can address it however it would like.
It's the first time that it's ever been in front of me on any sort of petition on any of my cases to address this issue. So I'm not sure what the appropriate avenue is, but we're here to see whether or not there needs to be a full response already.
Correct. And Judge, I brought this to the court's attention by countering it because this was already filed. It was filed by the state. And what happens once it's filed, based upon the media attention that this case is receiving, the media, either through public records requests or now finally the clerk has finally got us like electronic access to the documents that are filed, it's open to the public. And in that particular petition, quite honestly, there's comments in there that besmirch my reputation. And I'm not going to sit by idly while I'm attacked by the state. And with regards to inappropriate comments that I made at the Arthur hearing to the lead detective, I'm going to rely on my written response. I'm not going to dignify it with a reply, verbally.
And I don't think that that's the bigger.
So, what do you think about what's going on in the courtroom, Rock?
Well, I think they're doing the right thing. I think they're doing the right thing.
Pushing back on the media?
Yeah. What do you think? What does chat think? I know it was cutting out. I think we've got a better stream though now.
Hey, look
No,
at back chat.
Okay. There's nothing there.
It's from Open Mind Perspectives. I am not looking to come on panel. I know that you have me blocked, which I don't, because of who that shall not be named. However, I am hoping you will give me a chance. I'd rather you block me because you don't like me, not because of someone else's influence.
Who's given influence? Like, is she even still here?
I don't know.
Well,
It's
let's
in
just
back chat right now.
no, I'm looking at back chat, but I guess I'm too late to get here because it's blank.
Yeah.
But Robert, just don't worry about it. Do your show.
Okay, Rondi says, I think they need to be careful with media. What do you think? What do you think about Rondi's question?
Do I think they need to be careful with media?
Yeah.
I think that's why they're pushing back. Let's watch some more.
Okay. Thank you, Rondi.
Yes, thank you, Rondi. And anybody else in chat that gives their input.
Sure. You know, and the state's saying that they had to barrage us with emails for 30 days. If Your Honor recalls, that's the time my father passed, and I'm sorry I didn't get it to them faster. But we're working this case. We've taken lots of depositions, but this particular petition filed by the state, I believe, needs to be addressed because we are constantly, from the defense side, being barraged by them from day one. And, you know, the state saying they can't unring the bell. Well, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube either. And that is why at the onset of this case, I sought a protective order to limit the discovery being released under Chapter 119, because I knew this was going to happen. The state aligned themselves with the Miami Herald and fought me on that. All I wanted to have, and Your Honor was not sitting in this court at the time, but all I was seeking was an ability for the court to review discovery prior to it being released under Chapter 119, not a complete gag order at all, because the writing was on the wall. My office probably received 15 calls as soon as the arrest was made.
Let me be your savior.
I hate other stuff.
That's the power of magic.
But they knew that from the beginning that that would happen. And now they're hiding behind that to say it's the defense that is putting all these things out there. They let the toothpaste out of the tube. And we're trying to put the cap on it. Why? For example, the video released at the press conference of Ms. Rundle standing there going like this, we take issue with that. We don't think the facts support that. The elevator video was released because why? It's great for the state. The media is going to love it, but they don't supply it with context, which is the danger that the state was facing by listing all the discovery and media outlets picking pieces of, oh, send me this video, send me that statement, send me this interview. Nobody wants to request the body-worn camera of the defense witness, Arthur Cupp, saying that she saw Obumseli beating Courtney. Nobody advertises that. No media outlets are covering that for the defense. The state's not putting that out there either. As an obligation to defend my client, the rules allow for me to give pushback, to characterize the evidence, to make sure that my client gets a just and fair trial. We're not trying to impede justice. We're trying to make sure justice is done by showing when the media contacts us, hey, do you have a comment about the new video? It's not new. It's just they found it because the state released it. Or the Haggard law firm with Mr. Hanfield and counsel for the estate of Obumseli released another video. And then the onslaught begins. Mr. Prado, Ms. Puglisi, do you have a comment about this new video? And in order to protect my client's right to a fair trial, I have to. I am ethically obligated to push back against the narrative that the state began to spin in August of 2022 when they had the press conference. Then again, when they fought the defense on a protective order, saying, no, we want all the discovery out there. Now they're complaining about the discovery that they released. The text messages that unfortunately show Mr. Obumseli was a victim of a sexual battery are in the text messages they made public. This is evidence.
They should not have done that, should they?
No.
Make those text messages public.
No.
Isn't that prosecutorial misconduct, Rockchalk?
I don't believe so. I'm not going to say that it's right.
Or is it just like trying to spin the narrative?
Well, I don't know how they got the text messages. It's going to be how they obtained them, how they presented them to court.
Yeah, but they leaked those text messages to the media. That's what the prosecution did. They got a hold of them, and then they released them to the media.
provided to us, it was provided to the media. And now they're complaining that it's being released and that I have to comment because things are being taken out of context. All the media coverage to date has been vilifying my client under narratives that we have an opinion of the evidence that takes a different take, that is supported by the evidence that the state produced to us. And we have an obligation to make sure that our client gets a fair trial.
Judge, if I may just add something. It appears from what Mr. Quinnen said that they're not trying to prevent us from speaking to the media. I think that's what I heard him say. We obviously have a First Amendment obligation, just like the media has a First Amendment right to report. We are not trying to waste time in this case. Our client is in custody for almost 2 years. We want her to get to trial as soon as possible, but it makes it very difficult. This is not your normal case. With media attention, it unfortunately brings us having to respond to things. And one thing that I think is a perfect example of that, Mr. Quinnen mentioned that recently, within the last 48 hours, there's been news media coverage about the Clennys being arrested. And one of the things talked about tampering with evidence. And he himself just now said on the record, which I'm very happy for, about the fact that this is not a tampering case. There's no evidence of it. But you know what's going on in the media is that Mr. Prieto and I are being vilified as being said that we are instigating this and we had our clients alter the computer. That's what's out there. Imagine now we have to try to defend ourselves from what's going on. So we can't control what the media says, but as he said, we have to be able to respond. And so, you know, we had a motion to compel, which I know we just filed it last night based upon what's going on in the new thing. You probably don't, and they haven't had a chance to respond. We're going to ask you to try to put it on as soon as possible next week, because our whole text communications were reviewed, and it is our whole defense laid out in the text communications, which were subject to this new charge. That's how the whole case started with this new offense. It's based upon reading work product that we've had. And so now I don't know who has read the text from there. We're going to ask the court to do a protective order because God forbid, God forbid that discovery comes out and now they can Chapter 119 request all of our text messages. But there's a lot of issues to deal with. As you can see, it's not your normal case. So we are just making sure we counter.
Rock, where have we heard that saying before? It's not a normal case.
Well, Idaho's not a normal case. There's many places it's not a normal case. Actually, it actually is starting to seem like it's normal to be not normal.
Yeah.
I don't understand our court systems anymore.
Yeah. First,
Not just
Idaho.
this case, many cases. Look at the Delphi case. I mean, I don't know if anybody's watched, but earlier they were talking about the Laundrie trials. Brian Laundrie, his parents and them.
Yeah.
There was some craziness going, and then I just got something across my phone saying that they made a settlement. So I think that's breaking news because it came across my phone. But we'll continue with this. I'm just saying, it seems like nothing's normal in these district courts anymore.
Yeah, because since you said this is not a normal case, it made me think what the Idaho prosecutor said. This is a complex case. It's not a normal case. And then she just said, "This is not a normal case." And then in Delphi, this is not a normal case.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like they're all district courts, and it seems like I don't know what's going on with the district courts, but nothing seems normal anymore. That's what I'm saying.
Lisa Little said, "What us to do to be wrong is right." What is to be wrong is right. No, what used to be wrong is right.
There you go. The E's missing. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it seems like, I mean, the court system's been slacking. Let me say slacking for a while. And
Yeah.
I hate to say the COVID, but that didn't help. I know that most of the places where I live,
Hmm.
the court systems was so backed up, they're still backed up, and they're doing things a lot different. I don't understand any of it.
Yeah, because and then we had the breaking news last night that Chief Fry is retiring. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was talking.
yeah.
I was talking to my brother about it. He lives about 45 minutes south of Pullman, and when I told him about it, and he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "Maybe the fire is getting too hot in the kitchen."
Well, I mean, I don't want to say anything wrong to that, but I do find it very odd that we haven't went to trial yet. He's gonna retire. I do see some red flags.
Yeah.
And then I see people saying his wife works for MPD. No, she works for the district court. Now I know we're not talking about the Idaho 4 case, but we are right this second. Somehow the Idaho 4 always gets brought in. I don't have a problem with that. I came to YouTube for the Idaho 4. So as far as
Casey goes, strange timing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I bet you could ask chat and every one of them would much rather talk about Idaho for every day of the week if there was new stuff. We did cover it
Yeah,
last night about the chief retiring. We already know Bill Thompson's gonna retire, but the
but here's
chief,
the thing: is he gonna retire before this case, or is he gonna
oh,
retire after the case?
Bill Thompson.
Yeah,
If I was to bet, and I'm a gambler, I'd bet he retires before this case is done. I think that's why they brought other prosecutors in so that he can retire. Listen, there's nothing normal about the Idaho case. There's nothing normal about the
no.
Delphi case. Actually, is there any normal cases out there anymore? Because I'd like to know. Because if there is, I haven't seen them, unless it's just a
Okay,
little unless it's just a little traffic case. But murder
okay.
cases, I don't think there's any out there right there that's normal.
This is for the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Chief Fry is retiring because of this case, and put a 2 in the chat if you think that Bill Thompson will retire before this case even goes to trial.
Yeah, in case he's got a point. Why wouldn't he wait another year for his 30 years? I mean, because your benefits go up at 30 years. Why wouldn't he just wait one more year and see this trial through?
Okay, we got a
We got a lot
1
of
by
one.
Casey.
Well, Kelly thinks 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 by Casey, 2 by Rodney, Christy J 1, Lisa Ledlow 1, Rondi Porter 1, Kelly 1 and 2.
I'm with Casey. I don't understand. He's got 29 years in. Why wouldn't he wait one more year? And let me tell you what, maybe I'm just different. I retired, but I saw all my cases through, okay, to the very end. This is a huge case. Why wouldn't he want to stay on at least to get this case to the end?
Yeah.
Not too many times do you see a chief or even a sheriff stop in the middle of a case. They would see it through. I have a lot of questions about that, but that's my only opinion.
Yeah.
I know around here, no way they would stay for the whole thing, for the whole case. Especially if they would spend 31 years just to see out this case because it's such a horrible case. There was 4 unalived in such a horrible manner, and there's so many questions everywhere. So I would be on the side to question why is he retiring, and is the attorney general involved in this? Do we know if the
Yeah.
attorney general is even involved in how they've handled any of this?
You
'Cause
mean
that
the
would be
governor?
attorney
As the
general is
governor,
Attorney General would be handling any kind of, like the prosecutor, all that. That's the Attorney General's job. Attorney General is the highest attorney area for the state and law enforcement area for the state. They control both.
And, well, don't forget the DOJ is over everything, Department of Justice.
Well, yeah, but that's federal. I'm just saying within the state, you got an attorney general. Like, is the attorney general checking into all this? And I don't know. I think we need to see how this plays out.
See, I was watching on the news earlier today, and apparently there was a press statement by the DOJ on the news because one of the reporters in the White House briefing room asked Karine Jean-Pierre asked about the Idaho case and asked if the DOJ was monitoring the case. And according to Karine Jean-Pierre, the DOJ is heavily monitoring the case in Idaho and are weighing options to step in.
And do you got that in front of you where you can pull it up on the screen?
No, it was on TV. It was on TV today.
I know, but was it News Nation? Was it Fox? Do you know?
C-SPAN.
Well, if it was there, I'm sure it's somewhere else, but
Listen, Linda Arian wanted to know if Fry was running for sheriff, and I don't think he is. I think he's just flat out retiring.
yeah, I think why would he run for sheriff? Like, I think he's trying to get out of Dodge. Be
Yeah.
interesting to see if his wife's retiring too. How about that? Is he going to stick around the town? Is he going to hang out? Is there
If he's
anything
retiring,
Is there
if
anything
he's
keeping him there?
retiring, no.
I mean, he don't have any orders that I know of that he has to stay there, right?
Right.
Interesting.
And I don't know if it was Casey or one of the other people in chat said that it's a very with strange timing, and then Rodney says that he could go camping out in the woods and never return.
Wow. He could also go to a state or to a country that don't have a treaty with us to bring him back. I mean,
Extradition treaty.
yeah, I said that last night, and I'm saying it again. Like, we don't know what's going on. We're all up in the air. I find it odd. Why was that released to the media? Do they just want to send us in a frenzy? Like, seriously? Because why are they even releasing that he's going to retire? Who would know that?
Do you think there could be something going on behind the scenes where he's possibly being forced out?
Resignation? Forced resignation?
Yeah. Or
That's
forced
very possible
retirement.
because let me tell you what, a sheriff's job is an elected job. The chief's job is an appointed job that is done by their city manager and their city council.
Yeah.
I mean, who released that he's retiring? Like, did we see any paperwork who released that? I just find it strange they even released it. It seems like they want to twist and turn us all over in this Idaho 4 case. Because look what we're doing. They've released that Chief Fry's going to retire, and look what we're talking about now is Chief Fry.
Yeah.
Do they just keep releasing different things so that we'll talk about that, and they try to get us away from the original thing that we really need to talk about? Makes no sense to me.
No.
Where else is there that they don't release 911 tapes? It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And like I was telling you earlier, well, I think it was yesterday. I was watching that video. I was trying to get some kind of summary on it, and what what Christie said. Yeah, don't tell me that he couldn't unalive those 4 kids by himself. And then Steve made the comment, well, if there was a suspect, he kind of threw them under the bus. If there was an accomplice, he kind of threw them under the bus when he made the statement. Was anybody else arrested? Steve knows something. I know I'm
I
taking away
still
from.
I still say I personally don't believe Brian ever made that comment. So, and if he did, my theory on it is the way they busted into his parents' house and got him out of
No
there.
knock warrant.
Well, yeah, but the way they busted in there, he probably was concerned about his parents if he made that comment. I mean, I'm sure it was crazy. I mean, you saw the door broke, the glass in
Yeah,
the door broke. I don't know.
but I think Steve knows more than he's letting on,
Well, we
because you
said
heard.
that.
Yeah, because he made the comment when he goes to the prosecution. Hey, I've learned this, and then they're like, oh, really? What have you learned? And then Steve made the comment, we're not going to cross notes because you're not telling us everything.
Right. Honestly, I think eventually Steve's probably going to be the one that tells everything. That's my opinion.
Yep.
And I want to know what Steve knows. I want to know what Adam knows. Adam still hasn't told me what he knows. Did he show up tonight? Still waiting for Adam to tell me what he knows. And I know what he's doing. This band's only. I don't know what's going on with AR. He could have got caught up with something. He didn't respond, and he's really good about responding. I hope and pray that he's not having a medical condition,
Yeah.
because he's pretty he's pretty good at responding. So I'm not going to stress about that. I almost wish we would maybe just wait for AR, because I mean, what if he had another diabetes thing?
Yeah.
Let's go. Anybody want to go back over and watch the thing with Chief Fry again and see if there's anything new? Because I know you guys are Idaho 4 people. Like, I get it.
Yeah. Is Pia going to rejoin us since this is a new live and the other one was
Well,
messed
Robert,
up
I
and
think
deleted?
I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think they got company.
Oh, okay.
I think they had somebody show up and she had to go. Like, I think you misread the back chat. It's okay. I mean, sometimes things happen,
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened, and I know you had this plan. I know AR sometimes has issues. I can't make excuses for people, but I know they're
Yeah. I
both
know.
very reliable. I do want to say this again. Uh, Strange Suspicions never said anything about a certain lady. Actually, she said no names. She just didn't appreciate whoever it is acting like they're her. That's it. That's all she has. She just wants to be able to do her own thing and all that. I don't think she's upset. I don't think it's any of that. I think they got company. But she wasn't upset. She was saying what she thought, but she never said any names to anybody. So
Yeah.
that I heard. And I was listening because I like listening to her. So I just want to leave that alone. Maybe she just got company. That's what it sounds like to me. But I can't be on here and try to figure out what's going on there. It's too hard. I say either we just go ahead and save this, unless you want to go ahead and continue it. If you want to go ahead and continue it and you know what you want to say about it, I'm down for it. I'm down for whatever you want to do, Robert. I just know
Okay,
the people
I'm
in the
looking
chat,
up.
they're always down for the Idaho 4. Anything Idaho 4. I don't know if they like Drip Drop, but Drip Drop came out with one today. Why couldn't we do that one? Has everybody seen the Drip Drop one?
Hey, I found one on In and Harsh.
Well, let's do that one. I'm just saying that, you know.
HitPaw Video Enhancer is an AI video enhancer.
Like a scream, but like, you know, that's like normal. Like I always hear like screaming almost every
I don't
Saturday
trust
night.
him.
So like I didn't really like think of it. And so, but like, yeah, just looking back, I was like, I wonder if like, you know, that wasn't just like some drunk dude like screaming, like it's actually like the murder.
Police collecting surveillance footage from the night of the killings to an interview with an interesting neighbor. We break down the latest in the University of Idaho murder investigation with renowned former homicide detective Phil Waters and true crime host Lauren Matthias. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Well, this investigation is not cold. We get tips every day that are viable. We get dozens and dozens of tips. We sort through them, we prioritize them, and for sure, some of them are not good tips. They're not even relevant to the case. But every single day, we get a good amount of viable tips, and those tips help us do everything from clear people who maybe there was some speculation about, to further some of the theories that we're working on.
Well, it's another day and still no arrests, no suspects, no recovered weapon in the University of Idaho quadruple murder case. This, of course, is the killings of 21-year-old Kaylee Gonsalves, 21-year-old Madison Mogan, 20-year-old Zana Kernodle, and 20-year-old Ethan Chapin, whose bodies were found in their off-campus rental home out in the college town of Moscow. As we are now in the fourth week, there is new information that is coming to light about gas station footage and an interview with a neighbor. And we thought it might be beneficial to do maybe an in-depth review of where we are right now. So joining me to break all of this down, I am joined by legendary homicide detective Phil Waters, who spent 23 years in the Houston Police Department. He investigated more than 400 cases. Phil has been incredibly generous with his time. He's been helping us out here on Law and Crime to understand the inner workings of this investigation. And we are also joined by Lauren Matthias. Lauren was a TV reporter for 10 years and actually a former Idaho reporter. She is currently the host of the Hidden True Crime podcast and YouTube channel, and she has been actively following this case. Phil, Lauren, it's great to have you both here on Sidebar.
Happy to be here.
I like that. You timed that both perfectly at the same time with the thank yous. Lauren, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start with you because you did something really interesting. You sat down and had an interview on your YouTube channel and podcast with a neighbor of these students, someone who lived in that area. But I first want to start with why you approached him for the interview, because the way that I understand it, he had some activity online and he was making contradictions about maybe what he saw and heard. So can you summarize who exactly he is and what he saw and heard?
Absolutely. His name is Enon Harsh, a neighbor of the 4 victims, and he did make contradictions. You're absolutely right. So after the murder, the day after, he wrote, wow, you know, my neighbors, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I learned that my neighbors have been murdered. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear a scream. He later on went on to edit that post and took out that he hadn't heard a scream, and is recently saying, you know what? I might have heard a scream. Move forward, he did a Reddit AMA. And in that Reddit AMA, he decides to mention that he had met the victims, or at least some of them. He mentioned Kaylee by name in that memory of bringing over wine and meeting them, saying they were beautiful and joyful. All of these things kept coming and coming, and I thought, I have got to talk to this.
Wait a minute. Did she just say he was bringing wine over to them?
He brought a bottle over one day and told them they could share it. And they were outside. But yeah, he did bring them a bottle of wine. He said he did. He actually said that was the only time he talked to him.
Kind of weird though, isn't it?
Yeah.
bringing wine to people you don't know?
Well, maybe he thought it was a party house and he knew it was a bunch of girls. You know, he cooks, years of cooking, like Casey says. Probably had plenty of
Yeah.
wine. And it gave him some.
Lisa Ludlow said it can make your brain spin. I mean, each person is guilty and in and well. He got home supposedly about the same time.
Yeah, and there was a thing that did come out. Was it Crimes, Lies, and Videotapes today?
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was that were in and got into it with his mom.
Yeah,
I don't
back
know.
in 2012. So about 10 years ago.
But I will say, Doc Thrifty or Crimes, Lies, Videotapes, from the get go, like he's been on In and Harsh like crazy. Like he's been very suspect of In and Harsh from the very, very get go. Let's see some more what this has to say. This is newly released, you said? When was this released?
Was around the time of the murders. I'd say about a couple months after the murders.
Oh, it's that old?
This guy. What else does he know?
And Phil, I'm going to get to you in a second about what your impression your impression of him in a second. The reason I'm going to do that, Phil, is because Lauren, my understanding, not even my understanding, I was watching your feed of this, and in the chat room, people were very skeptical of him. It seemed to me, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, that people might think he is the actual killer.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of, it's almost hilarious to me that people think I did it, and they're like telling me like, yo, you did it. And it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like the equivalent to like flat earth theory to me.
Did you think there was anything strange about his responses, and what were people thinking of him?
I do think there were things that were strange about his responses. I think that I do want to know again more about him, and I think it's fair that people are questioning him in chat. And I want to say I know that true crime sleuths and the true crime community get a lot of flack from speculating about certain people, but I want to say he is the one that has come forward. Let's lay that out here first before we continue. He came out and stated he might have heard a scream. He came out with the Reddit AMA. He has shared a lot. So what we're processing as a true crime community right now is things he's chosen to share with the public. I do want to lay that foundation here. I think it's fair that people are skeptical of him. First, contradictions, changing stories, going as far as editing his Facebook post to say he heard a scream or he did not hear a scream, excuse me, and now he has possibly maybe heard a scream. In addition to saying he had met the victims, that was what was most prominent to me in that Reddit AMA. Wait, you've met them? He's never said that before. And then I thought it was interesting that he then said he couldn't remember all of their names in this long Reddit thread, and then referred to Ethan as the boyfriend, her boyfriend. It was the way he said it in the Reddit AMA. Referring to Xana. He mentioned Xana and Kaylee by name, said he couldn't remember Maddie, although he does follow Maddie on Instagram. And then said her boyfriend, Xana's boyfriend. He also said that in the interview with me. He called Ethan the boyfriend twice, and I finally said Ethan's name. This is strange to me. For someone that lives next door to these victims, we all know their names and you don't? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and he said on there that some of the nicest neighbors, he loved his neighbors. They were really nice people. Phil, for people who don't know, you are not only a legendary homicide detective, but also a master interrogator. You've sat across from a lot of people trying to get information from them. What was your take on what you saw from this gentleman? And again, Lauren's right. He came forward. So what's your take on this?
Well, my impression of him is that he has inserted himself into the investigation for his own purposes. I told you before we get on the air here that I was most impressed with his profanities and use of the word "like." So as I look at his,
Yeah, I will tell you that as a broadcaster myself, I took a little issue with it. I think he said the word like maybe 23 million times, but other than that, I tried to get to the substance of filth. So
well, it got to the point where I was going to start counting them just for the entertainment value. But I watch him. It's hard to get a real good reading because it's on a video. Of course, he's on a camera and so forth and so on. Because I'm not seeing the total picture here of him. But what I can see through his narrative there, he is using the word like because that's a filler word. He's trying to come up with a few seconds there to determine what he's going to say next. And he uses it repeatedly.
Hey guys, Sean Six Larkin here from On Patrol Live. The holiday season's upon us, and if you're looking for that perfect gift to stuff down in that stocking or put under the tree for somebody else, pick up my book, Breaking Blue, Real Life Stories of Cops Falsely Accused. It's a great read, something you don't want to miss. You can pick it up on Amazon.
So I was going through spike samples and I found this.
Body is he does a lot of looking around, and I'm not talking about eye stuff. I'm talking about just his mannerisms. He does a lot of this, and there are a lot of subtle shoulder shrugs. He'll be getting into a discussion, and you'll see that shoulder start to pump. Those things together would indicate to me, if I was sitting in the room with him and had a better view of him, that there is a possibility of some deception in what he is saying. Now, the description of this SUV now all of a sudden that has come to light, he talks about, oh yeah, it's this really hot looking SUV, this and that, and he's really drawn to those types of vehicles. That's why he noticed that. I think he said that Kaylee drove a Ford, which is not in his mind a really high end luxury vehicle. And then he talks about the license plate was either Arizona or Montana. And then later on, he adds in Colorado. So I guess we're going to cover, kind of the Midwest, the Southwest, up to the north part of the country of what this possible license plate was. So a lot of things there in the discussion that don't tell me that he's being authentic. And then what Lauren's talked about here, that the fact that he came out at the beginning of this and said, I know nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I wasn't, blah, 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 barely knew these people. And now all of a sudden in this interview with Lauren, all of a sudden he was going to go crash one of their parties, I think is what he said. So my impression of him, and
Wait a minute. He was going to go crash one of their parties? That's kind of odd. What do you think, Rock?
I never heard he said he was going to go crash one of those parties. Now I hear this guy saying it. Did you hear it in that interview that he was going to go crash one of their parties? Did anybody hear that in the interview that he was going to go crash one of them parties? This guy is another Jennifer, you know what? So it's kind of crazy.
Amy Conway said in chat, yes, he stated out of state plates, no APB on that vehicle, 3:01 a.m. in the area, no investigation correctly.
Okay, where did that come from? Because that's not even what we was talking about, right? What are you talking about? What did I miss here, Robert? For some reason,
I don't know.
I'm telling you, StreamYard is glitching in and out. I don't know what the deal is. It's been doing it all day.
Rodney says, I don't remember hearing that. I will watch again.
Me too, because I don't remember hearing it at all. Maybe, I don't know. I kind of want to watch Crimes, Lies, and Videotapes. He's got one out today. It's all about In and Harsh. I haven't got to see it. He's been chasing him for a while. Doc Thrifty is originally who he was. But he put out, actually, I think he put out 2 videos today. Again, I haven't had time to watch.
Oh.
But this goes way back to the beginning. We can try it, finish watching it. How long is it? It's up to you. I don't know, when they
It's
start
got
getting
3 minutes left.
yeah, let's watch. Neither have I. You want to watch crimes lives and videotapes with Doc Thrifty? Like I said, I believe he released a couple today, Robert. Yeah, it's the one with the
9
helicopter.
hours
Click on it.
ago.
Yeah. Well, he's got a couple.
Hey everybody, welcome back.
This was 9 hours ago.
Everything you see in this video is all allegedly pure speculation, going off my gut feeling, a hunch, and don't run with what I say.
Thank
hey guys,
you.
I know everybody's anticipating me jumping back into the list,
Yeah.
showing the comparisons with Enon, and I will be doing that later on today. But I also want to talk about some other things. It is prediction time. From time to time, I will give a few predictions, but mostly all about the facts. But I do think that what I'm going to be showing you today has a great chance, a possibility to come true in this case. And I'll show you why. But you guys can use your own judgment as to think of what you think about my prediction right here. Going to use some of my maps and my expertise of the area to show you a few things. I'm the little yellow man down here where the pavement meets the road. Okay. And I talked about this a little bit the other day in my video, that this is Johnson Road, you guys. You can see that right here. And this is where the pavement and the dirt road connect. All right. So according to law enforcement and the cell phone pings and the route that law enforcement have our suspect taking, there is no other way. They have him staying on Johnson Road where the little yellow man is right now. So he had to have came this way if their pings are correct. Now, I mentioned this back in my video the other day that I do feel like that this is where law enforcement missed an opportunity. You guys may have picked that up in my video, but I didn't give it away completely. I wanted to see if you could figure it out. But where the little yellow man is, where I'm standing and I'm facing Johnson Road, where the dirt road is, and it goes for about 2 miles. So from this little yellow man, you can see the blue line. You can only click along the blue lines. It's grayed out. And it goes down to the other blue line, which is right here. See, I'm the other little yellow man. Okay. So between this little yellow man and this little yellow man up here, it's a dirt road, you guys. It goes for about 2 miles. Right? And according to law enforcement, this is Busby Johnson Road. There is no other way for our suspect to travel once he gets on this road, unless he's going to take Chambers and go way back to the 195. He has to come this route. Okay, so if law enforcement is right, he was on this dirt road. Okay. And the opportunity I feel like was missed is, do you see the tire tracks? If our suspect came this way, like they say on the cell phone pings, then they had a chance to get tracks out here. Now, they didn't have very long, because right after the crimes, it snowed out here. Okay, not too long after the crimes. So, and I'm not really sure that, they would have had to have been pretty quick. All right, but you can see the tire tracks out here. All right, and that's what I meant was, they did have an opportunity that could have been kind of like a slam dunk if they could have paired his tire tracks up out here. So I wanted to mention that, okay, and from my last video that, some people will look at that as a missed opportunity. I do.
Hey, my cousin's in
Put a
chat.
paired up
Can you
tracks
come
with
up
the
on a
vehicle.
panel?
But today,
Hey, Nathan, click the link.
the route our suspect took the night of the crimes, which way did he go on his way in? Now, we already know from the affidavit that law enforcement have him coming back into the WSU campus and passing all those cameras on Stadium Way at Wilson, Grimes, Cougar. So, but we're talking about the way, which way did he go on his way in to the student's home? All right, to the area of the student's home. Pay attention, you guys. It's going to be a test after. So according to the PCA, at 2:53 a.m., our suspect is at Nevada Street and Stadium Way heading towards the 270. Okay. And that's what's right here, according to the PCA. White Elantra, known as Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street and Northeast Stadium Way at approximately 2:53 a.m. Right? A white sedan, consistent with the description of the White Elantra, known as Suspect Vehicle 1, heading towards the 270 at 2:53 a.m. Okay. So we're together right here. At 2:53 a.m., he's at Nevada Street and Stadium Way heading towards the 270. That's where I'm at right here on the maps. You can see the cameras. One here, and one above us right here. So they say he was coming in this direction, going towards it, and he made this right, and he's heading towards this 270 at 2:53 a.m. Guys, follow me? So this is the 270 right here, and according to them, they think he went left, right? Well, I know for a fact that he couldn't have went down the 270, you guys, and I'll show you why. Here's 3 routes from Nevada Street and Stadium Way to the student's home. The quickest route is 15 minutes. The second quickest route is 18 minutes. And then the third quickest route is 20 minutes. I think he went any 3 of these.
Oh, my cousin Nathan.
And he would have been
He's in
absolutely
chat.
stupid to go the 270, guys, which is only a 15-minute drive. Now, they said his first appearance at the area of the student's home was until 3:29.
Hey, Rock.
Yes.
My cousin Nathan Parody is in the chat.
Yeah, but is he following the Idaho
He likes
4?
true
Is he
crime, and
crime?
he's he doesn't have a channel, but he does follow the true crime community. Yes. And I told him I was going to be going live tonight, and now he's in the chat. Nathan, did you follow the Idaho 4 case or any of these cases I'm showing? Willis says, I think there's tire marks.
I was trying to share. I don't know what mods we got out there that can share crimes, lies, and videotapes, but If I have to get down to share it, I will. I've been trying to share it from up here. I'm having a problem.
He's a newbie. He hasn't followed this case yet.
Yeah, but we got a lot going on tonight.
Yeah.
Trying to see here. I might have to. Trying
I
to share.
think
I want to share his link. We're using
I
his
think
stuff and we need to share his link.
Yeah, I think we got Rodney in chat.
Yeah, we're looking for crimes, lies, and videotapes so we can share his link to the chat. Because we are watching his. That's okay. Keep it going. I'm going to keep looking and seeing if I can do it from up here. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't think I can, but I'm going to try.
Casey said, I don't know
That's okay.
how.
I'm going to try. That's okay. I'm going to try, sweetie. If not, I'm going to get down and I'm going to do it. Let me see what I can do.
You enjoying the show, Nathan?
Well, at 2:53 a.m. to 3:29 a.m., that's 36 minutes. Well, obviously, he didn't drive the quickest route from Nevada Street and Stadium Way to the student's home because that's only 15 minutes. There's a lot of lost time there. But like I said, he'd been absolutely crazy to come this route anyway, the 270, you guys, because if he does, and he comes down this 270, like I'm showing now where this sign says Moscow, 8 miles, as soon as he gets up here to the Bishop, he's going to be seen on camera right here on his way to the Johnson Road. You see this Bishop Boulevard? As he approaches this, if he takes the 270 straight into Moscow, boom, he's going to be seen on camera right here. This is the 270. Once you jump on this highway, which they consider Main Street 270, the same thing, there's no way off, you guys. Okay? There's no way off. All right? You can't get off this to get back to the area of the student's home. All right? And they distinctly have it set up that way so that once you get on this highway, you're picked up on camera. And then I'm going to show you that there's no way to get off. All right? If you look, once you get on this 270, none of these roads will turn off. They're all dead ends. Okay? There's one up here that you can turn off, Sunshine, but it leads back west, and only railroad tracks will take you to the area the student's home. So, but also, do you guys remember, according to the PCA, that on August 21st, 2022, our suspect was pulled over at Farm Road by Corporal Duke, right? At Highway 8, Pullman Highway and Farm Road. You see that right here. So again, you guys, he would have been absolutely stupid to come down this 270 because right here at the Buffalo Wild Wings and Farm Road, that I'm at right here, see that says Farm Road and the Highway 8. This is Farm Road. Look at the cameras. And this is right where he was pulled over at that I just showed you, according to the affidavit. Okay. On August 21st, 2022, he was pulled. August 21st, 2022, he was pulled over at Farm Road and Highway 8. So, I mean, I guess Brian would have to be absolutely stupid to come down here where he probably knows these cameras already saw him pulled over once. He didn't take the 270, you guys. That's my prediction. One of them. Okay, so if he didn't take the 270, well, which way did he go? Huh? Which way did he go?
Which way did he go, Rock, if he didn't take the 270?
I'm not real sure. What if it wasn't him? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going by
Well,
towers.
whoever took the yeah. See, I don't understand whoever it was why they took the long way when if you see right there, it's a straight shot to Moscow.
I've watched a lot of doc
Weird.
stuff. And if you go back, but he erased a lot of them, and then he brings them back. So I get kind of like frustrated because it's hard to go back to them. But in his parents' houses along that route, there's a lot of things along that route, and that's why he
Yeah.
thinks that he went that long route. So most that's
Oh.
followed the case are probably
Well,
following
Yeah.
Doc Thrifty right now because they've been following the case, and Doc Thrifty's been on this for a long time. Casey, you follow? Are
if
you
it's
understanding?
36
Yeah, he's
minutes
gonna tell us
from
exactly.
the time that he was at Nevada Street and Stadium Way and didn't show up into the area of the student's home until 3:29, that's a 36-minute drive. Well, here's a drive. It's only 32 minutes. No, coincidentally enough, goes right past a certain somebody's house that he used to live at. And by the way, my route goes down here by the Indian Hills where he was seen.
I'm sorry. That was an accident.
You're all right.
No,
It's
you
all right.
guys.
You can get it. You can get it
Got
back.
right here, minor in the A
I
and
got it.
W.
But I got the body cam of Brian getting
was able to see
stopped
that his
there
license
in
plate was
Pullman.
missing. It's because there's cameras on the side of this building. All right. And then he went straight across, got back up on here on Walenta, and came in the back way, the same way he left. You guys, he didn't come in Taylor the front way. This is a 32-minute drive. Coincidentally enough, goes right past Enon's parents' house. You know, Enon said he got off work that night at midnight and hung out with a coworker and didn't get home until 1:30 a.m. to 2. Well, I sure hope that his car turns this corner in between that half-hour time frame. Because you know what I think? I think there's a chance that maybe after he got off of work at the Black Cypress that night, he came out here to his parents' house. And then somebody who left and was seen up here at Nevada Street and Stadium Way at 2:53 took this 32-minute drive, swung back out here to pick somebody up. And then 2 people were in that car at 3:29 a.m. when it made its first appearance. Just speculation, all allegedly. But if he didn't take the quickest...
That's a very good possibility, what he just said. There was 2 people in that car.
route in 270, and he didn't take the second route and the third route because these time frames don't match the 36 minutes, you guys. Well, what route did he come in then? Huh? Or was he killing time somewhere and he took one of these shorter routes? That's my prediction. He took the long way in, just like he took the long way out. More to come. Talk soon.
What do you think, Rock?
I know. I know Dr. T's got a lot more stuff. He's got so much stuff. And I know he's thought Enan, however you want to say his name, he's thought he's sus from the beginning.
Yeah. Here's that body cam footage from the traffic stop. Aaron Pullman.
If you want to play the Pullman stop, I've seen it, but I know you've been wanting to play it. It's your
The what?
show. Play what you want. I'm down for it. We've got a great chat. I think a lot of people maybe eating or have some stuff going on, or maybe got tired of StreamYard. StreamYard was kind of not nice tonight. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
You can't handle
No.
StreamYard. It's not your fault. How long you been on?
Let's see, an hour and 26 minutes.
Is everybody down to go 2 hours? You want us to look up some more stuff, or is there anything you want Robert to look up? Other than what we're going to cover Monday, that discussion was so good that I really want to keep that discussion going.
Yeah. I want to get through these two body cams, and
Perfect.
if you're down with it, Rock, we could we could finish that video tonight, and then rewatch it with Don't Dive on Monday.
No, I want to leave it right where we were at, because we had a lot of people that was in chat. She went on vacation, and I don't know about anybody else, but that panel was fire the other night, and everybody in chat was so good. And I think we should wait, but it's your show. I think we should wait till, like we said, Monday on that way, because Don't Dive has some really good information on it too. Chat really liked it, and there might be some people waiting until Monday to go over that. But it's your show. I'm willing to do whatever, Robert. I'm here to help you. So
Yeah, let's go through these two body cams and then have a discussion on the two body cams.
Casey, have we been on 2 hours and 20 minutes? Is that what you're telling me?
No, she wants to go. She wants us to go 2 hours and 20 minutes. Because right now we're at 1 hour and 28 minutes. She wants us to go 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay, let's go. I'm good with that.
At all for that reason, because if the light turns red, then you're stuck in the intersection, and then you're on the red light. So that's the reason I stopped you. Do you have your license on you?
Yep.
Do you have the registration and insurance?
We just get this for you out.
You what?
I'm just gonna get this out for you.
Okay.
So would you explain that to me a little bit further? So in Pennsylvania, when you're stuck like, in their intersection, you have to make the left. So what would the appropriate thing for me to have done been?
Not-
Just
You're
back up in
not
that
supposed to
situation?
block an intersection like that in Washington. So just by you blocking the intersection, that's technically a ticketable violation. And then then you're running a red light. So it's another ticketable offense. So you're not supposed to proceed into the intersection until you can go. Because a lot of people do what you just did, right? Is like you're sitting in the intersection waiting, and then turns, and then you're blocking. So
yeah, there was a little bit of confusion with speeding because someone had
That sounds kind of petty, doesn't it?
Yeah, Robert, why you got this unblocked? We started at
What?
7. We started at 7 and it is 9:20. So what she's saying is we've been on 2 hours and 20 minutes. How long is this video?
Well, if
9
you
minutes?
remember, if you remember, I had to stop and
Yeah,
uh,
I
back
understand
out.
that. I understand that, but I also understand our mods.
Yeah.
They also have things to do, and we was trying to limit in our lives to 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're all right. How long is this? It's like 9:26, right?
Yep.
Am I reading that right?
Yep.
Casey, we got a couple. Well, actually, she's the only one left in here, isn't she? Casey, you got a few more minutes in you to get through this 9 minute and 26 seconds, then we'll end the live.
Sure what they were
Go ahead, I'll play it. Go ahead and play it, Robert. Robert, you did nothing wrong, okay?
doing.
Just trying to keep on track
They
here.
put on their light to turn.
Mhm.
So I thought that maybe
Yeah.
they were letting me go through.
Oh,
Did you see that?
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, like right before I made the turn, there was someone who made a right. They didn't have their signal on, so I wasn't sure if they were just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Turn your low energy into big fitness energy at Planet Fitness. Join today for $1 down.
Yeah, so I would just advise just don't enter the intersection until you can go so you don't get stuck. Let's see.
But in that situation, the best thing to do then would be back up and not.
I don't know if there's a best thing to do in that situation because you're either going to back up into somebody or you're going to run a red light. So, or you're going to be sitting in an intersection. There's not
They're kind of petty, aren't they, Rock?
really a great
Yes, they are.
option there.
Yeah, I was just slightly into the crosswalk, so
Mhm.
where I'm from Pennsylvania, we actually don't have like crosswalks.
Oh,
so even if you're kind of slightly, there's a little bit more leeway as well. Like there are a few lines, like there's one white line and there's another one in front.
Mhm.
Like there's like a certain
Yeah.
margin from which you can actually kind of put your vehicle, place your vehicle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know laws vary state to state, but there is a law in Washington.
I thought he
for
was very
blocking an
polite here
intersection like
too.
that,
He
proceeding
just
through
wanted
and
to know
you
what,
don't,
what
Yes,
it
he was.
when you're just stalling. I forget.
Yes, he was very polite.
Yeah, I thought he was very polite here.
The actual verbiage. I can find it for you, but it's like stalling, blocking an intersection.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the law. I don't mean to.
Oh no, yeah, I
I'm
can
not,
find
like,
it for you.
disagreeing with
Yeah.
anything.
Mm-hmm. 1 second. That looks good. On a
His
Honda.
eyebrows don't
I
look
don't see
bushy.
Pennsylvania registration like at all. Okay, let's see. Expires November 22nd or 2022. Okay. And
Yeah, one of those is actually.
yeah, okay, that looks good. I'll hand that back to you. I'm just gonna go check your info. I'll try to find that RCW, the law for you, and I'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right. Sierra 331, code 4 driver. Go ahead. Last of Burger, King, Ocean, Henry, Boy, Edward, Robert, George, Edward, Robert, first of Brian, Boy, Robert, Young, Adam, Nora, middle C, Charles, date of birth 112194, Mount Washington.
George Union, Robert, Adam Lincoln, first parent, Tom, Adam, Robert, Young, Nora, and Custody. 1637. Sierra, driver.
Go ahead.
Genesis license through Washington 11/2027. The vehicle is valid on a 2005 Hyundai Sonata.
Copy. It should be in Elantra. Reason.
Copy MIB, it actually puts the DM, so it's my bad.
Sierra 334 stopping.
334.
King 568889 through Idaho. Will be Stadium and Q parking lot.
1638.
Dispatcher said Sonata.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where it originally did say Sonata.
Okay, so I found it. So I don't know what in Pennsylvania where you go to find laws, but in Washington it's called the Revised Code of Washington. So I'll try to turn my brightness up, but it's basically it's just called an RCW. So it's RCW 46.61.202. So it's no driver shall enter an intersection unless there is significant space on the other side of the intersection. To accommodate the vehicle he is operating without obstructing the passage of other vehicles, despite any traffic control signal indications to proceed. So you had a green light, so you're thinking you can go, but you're blocking the intersection. Yeah. So that's if you're ever curious in any laws in Washington, just Revised Code of Washington. So I'm not writing a ticket or anything like that today. I understand you're from Pennsylvania, but in the future, don't proceed through the intersection. You can't get stopped for that alone unless you can clearly just clear it right away.
Okay.
So
So then basically, I understand.
you're just supposed to wait behind the white line. Drivers do it all the time, but
it never even occurred to me that that was actually something wrong. But well, except for the fact that I was blocking the crosswalk, which is why I went through.
And states vary a lot from laws. Like Pennsylvania might not even have that law, but in Washington we do.
I'm actually just from a very rural area, so we just don't have crosswalks.
Oh.
Unless I visit an area where there are crosswalks, and then it's not very frequent.
Yeah.
I do apologize if I was asking you too many questions about the law. I wasn't trying to
No, not at all. Like I understand you're not from here, so if you don't, a lot of people don't know a bunch of laws. Like I only know it because this is what I do. But yeah, if you're ever curious on any more laws, just RCW, and they can be hard to read because it's in like.
He was very, very polite.
Yeah, I've always said that. I think he was very politeness. Very polite.
And they're trying to say this man murdered 4 people, and he was very polite. He was very cordial with the officer throughout the entire stop, even at the end. This just don't make no sense. Sophie M. Hey y'all, was listening on my drive home. Super pretty. Yes, zero reason over her to pull him over, aside from checking on the guy with out of state plates. And petty. That's not. And pretty sure that's not why. Yeah, it just don't make no sense to me, Rock.
Well, he also got pulled over for tailgating, following too close twice in Indiana. I mean, I don't know what these police officers are doing.
Yes, Sophie, he still had Pennsylvania plates. Do you want to do a part? Do you want to do a part 2 on this tomorrow, Rock, with the body cams?
Sure. I just know that we both discussed it, and you said to keep you on track, so I'm keeping you
Yeah.
on track. Listen, Robert could go all night long. I already know it. Wait a minute, Kelly, you just read that Fry's running for sheriff. Where did you read that? So we could look it up. No way. What?
Why would he retire from the chief of police though?
Actually, many retire from chief of police because you make more money as a sheriff officer, and the sheriff makes more money a sheriff is an elected position. So he really thinks after all this Moscow stuff, he's going to get elected. Wow! And if they elect him, wow! After how this case is going, and he ran for sheriff and got elected, that would tell you really how the politics are ruling that town. My opinion. Let me get my opinion in there. You see what I'm saying, Robert?
Yeah.
Because a sheriff has to be elected.
Yeah. Lisa said the entire county and more power.
Oh, look at Stevie Irwin. Can you highlight his? Hey, Stevie, here's my pencil. He's usually right on it. Can you look at his comment?
Retiring Moscow Police Chief James Fry announced his candidacy for Latah County Sheriff on the Wednesday morning news, setting up a challenge race this year.
Okay, this is gotcha, Steve. Thank you, Irwin. Okay, is there anybody in chat that really believes I realize it's all about money, but a sheriff is an elected position. If you were a resident of Latah County, would you vote for Fry? I'm just curious.
No.
Anybody in chat, would you vote for him after all this that's going on with this case, this Moscow PD case? Would anybody in their right mind vote for him? Seriously? Hell no. Exactly my point. It's an elected position.
You know what they always say, follow the money.
Listen, I'm from a machinist family too. Let's go protest down there. Let's go. Who's running against him? Because I'm on their team.
Kelly said it. Kelly said announced candidacy this morning.
Yeah. Can you Google, Robert? You got your computer right there. See who he's running against, because that's going to be my new thing.
Your new
Promote
best
whoever's
friend.
running against Fry. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would not vote for. I'm in shock. Okay, so that goes from the last night. He's not leaving town. His wife's not going to leave the district court. What is this world coming to? They always say follow the money, and that is an elected position. So who is paying for his campaign and everything? Yeah, he probably will win. I agree, Kelly. He probably will win. We need to get the YouTubers out there and really get JLR on it. Sheriff Skiles. Wonder how good he wasn't involved in this case, right? It was Moscow PD, ISP, and then of course the FBI helped out. Crazy timing, yeah. No, yeah.
Retiring Moscow Police Chief James Fry announced his candidacy for Latah County Sheriff. Sheriff Richie Skiles confirms he is running for re-election. Okay,
Come on,
retiring
Richie.
retiring Moscow Police Chief James Fry announced his candidacy for Latah County Sheriff on Wednesday morning, setting up a challenged race this year. Fry announced on Tuesday that he will retire in May after 8 years as Moscow Chief. Latah County Sheriff Richie Skiles confirms that he will run for re-election this year. Sheriff Skiles was first elected to the post in 2016.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, after all this Moscow PD crap has went on, if James Fry wins that race, Brian definitely is doomed because it's all rigged. Because nobody in their right mind, after all they've screwed up with Moscow PD, would they elect him sheriff? That is the people there that do the election. Your registered
That's
voters.
okay. There's Fry right there. Okay.
No, Fry is over to the left. That's Skiles.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
Fry.
Yeah, I took the arrow. I said, "There's Fry right there,"
Okay, yeah.
and there's Skiles right there.
Your arrow is. Let me look on my phone. On my TV, it's different. Yeah. Well, Fry's on the left. Skiles is on the right.
Yeah, that's who Fry is run. That's who Skiles is running against.
Well, I'm telling you, in my opinion, if Chief Fry gets that sheriff job, what on earth? Brian don't have a chance. I'm just gonna say
Kelly
that.
said. Kelly said Christ Church is paying.
Well, I'm sure they are, but it's still
Kelly,
the people. The
please
people have to vote.
Kelly, come up on panel for 15 minutes so you can explain this to us.
I'm getting down. I'm tired. Seriously, I'm tired.
Well, we got an hour and 47. Well, we got like 15 minutes left, but
No,
okay.
we went 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But you can have her up if you want to. I'll get down. She can come up if she wants to. Kelly's the same one that's putting all the stuff in our Idaho 4
Yeah,
stuff
I
and doing a
know.
really good job. So she's got a lot to say. I like her, but
I like her too. I especially like the avatar she made for me. Yay. I'm in a good mood today, Rock. I really am.
well, if you knew what was going on, there's a lot.
Kelly,
get it.
click the link. Come on, Kelly, click the link. Click the link. Click the link.
Yeah, actually, I'm getting off of here. Good night, everybody. I'm going to bed.
I love you, Rock Chalk.
I love you too.
Click the link, Kelly. And if you want to, Sophie, you can click the link too. Are you leaving us, Randy? Or Rondi? No, she won't. It was Rock. Just come up on panel for like 10 minutes.
What's in 10 minutes?
No, I'm trying to get Kelly on panel for like 10 minutes.
My headphones were starting. Kelly, come on. You have so much to say. You've had so many interesting things. We want to hear from you.
Kelly, you only have to be. I'll tell you what, Kelly. You only have to be up for 5 minutes, and then you can get down. Okay.
He's negotiating. Let's do it. I liked what you guys were listening to. I was listening to on the way home, and I love that crime videotape, whatever that guy's name is, who does all the maps and everything, all the stuff he puts out, all the timings. He's done some
Okay.
crazy research. Is she
Okay,
coming up?
Kelly. Then no. She said no, not till we talk.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, Kelly. Well, message me in Discord. Okay, we can set something up in there. No, I'm only gonna be like live for 10 more minutes.
Perfect. I'm tired too. I'm like, I can't believe how often I've been on your show this week, but you have so many interesting things to say.
Yeah. So what did you think? So what did you think about that body cam footage?
Can you hear me right now? No, I think it's weird. Like, why? What's the point? What's her point? She was pulling him over because he had Pennsylvania plates. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was very polite with her.
Oh,
And
big
she said
time.
that, and she said that he was blocking the intersection, and you can't
Right.
turn left. And you can't turn left. You can't be out in the middle of the intersection and then turn left right as it turns red.
I don't
I
think
do
so.
that.
Everybody does that. Everybody does it all the time.
I do that crap here, and I don't get pulled over.
No, it's because he had out-of-state plates. That's the only reason I can think of, and because, like I said, and like Western Washington, not even Idaho, like that western part of Washington, also has like huge drug problems. So they're waiting for people like rental cars have out-of-state plates. So they're checking people. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I think and his demeanor was crazy. He's so polite.
Yeah. And they think he murdered 4 people with such a polite disposition.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so hard to know that just by knowing someone, like it's always, my dad used to always say, he was a quiet man. Like joking around about crazy people. Like, oh yeah, he was real quiet. But I mean,
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like my brother, like my uncle used to tell me, he goes, watch out for them quiet ones.
Right? The polite ones, the ones who can hold back and not be like visibly frustrated by being pulled over for a dumb reason. Like make, basic conversation, I guess.
Yeah. Lisa Lidlow says, no way a vegan would want to see flesh.
Yeah, that part is pretty nuts. That part in itself is just nuts. I have one good friend who's a vegan, and she doesn't have any leather stuff. She doesn't have a leather knife sheath.
Yeah, this is it. Vegans won't touch anything animal, any kind of animal skin. And they think he left a leather knife sheath behind. If he's a diehard vegan who, I guess who apparently had his mom buy brand new pots of plants, because he didn't want to eat out of something that had meat cooked in it.
Right.
Ain't no way he's gonna touch a leather knife sheath.
No. Yeah, no, my friend who's vegan, we go mushroom hunting and we have knives, and I have a knife that folds up, so I don't need a knife sheath. But she brought a knife specifically in like a hard plastic case.
Yeah.
She didn't have and most people I know would have leather knife sheaths, so she had a different case. I still think it's Enon. After watching all those videos, that guy put out a whole bunch of new videos, and his videos are the reason that I keep going back to thinking that guy has something to do with it, even though he's been like pretty much out of the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what person gives a group of girls a bottle of wine? Like one, he claimed it was one time. Gives girls a bottle of wine that he don't even know.
Right. That's a weird welcome to the neighborhood gift, I guess. But it's creepy, is what it is.
Yeah, And I guess before all the girls lived there, the house, the 1122 King Road was filled with all guys. So
That's funny because Enon's been there for like 10 years or something, 15 years.
yeah, Kelly said half a bottle of wine left over from cooking.
Well, that's weird if you don't know someone. That wouldn't be weird if one of my friends was like, "Here, I was cooking with this. Do you want it?" But if some guy walked over from next door that I didn't know and offered me, I have a bottle that was already open of something, I'm not going to take it.
Yeah. I mean, you just before all the girls lived there, there was all guys that lived there, and there was a question whether or not when all guys were living there, if he could have possibly came over and hung out with all the guys, but I don't know, and I'm not saying that either.
Well, he was a drug dealer.
Who Inan was?
Isn't that what he got arrested for selling?
No, domestic violence.
Oh no, a different time though. When he's talking in one of his videos, he fully says that he was like selling ecstasy and got in trouble or something like that. He said it in one of those interviews. Party culture.
Lisa Ledlow says, Inan's culture may be pretty girls with no head coverings, party, happy, and got mad, and snapped.
Yeah, see, he looks crazy. Every time I've seen the videos that the last creator did, I've thought he just looks just more guilty every time.
Yeah, I mean, back in 2012, he beat up his own mother.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, was that you? Were you doing that last night? Was that when I popped? I came in.
No, that wasn't me. I mean, we were talking about it, but we didn't show the video.
Okay.
Crimes, Lies, and Videotape did a video earlier today, and he talked about the police report from 2012, where Inan was arrested for beating up his own mother, and his address at the time of his arrest was 500 Queen Road.
Yep. Okay, I watched a bunch of his videos last night late, so I don't remember what they were. I just remember that he just puts out videos, and it's like he put out like 6 videos yesterday or something.
Jamie says, "Don't think so. Brian was killing his mom if he wasn't arrested." Yeah, this whole like the last video that we watched for the OnlyFans case. The defense attorney for the parents stood there and said, "This is not a normal case." Yeah, because they were trying to push back on the media narrative, because apparently the prosecutor in that case released all the text messages to the media.
That's a bad move.
Yeah, and the female defense attorney said, "Your Honor, this is not a normal case." As soon as she said that, I paused and I said, "Well, where have I heard that?" And I said to Rock Chalk, I said, "Where have I heard that before?"
Yeah, here.
Yeah, Idaho,
Yep.
Delphi,
All of them.
any district court across this damn country.
Yeah. The Giglio Beach guy or whatever, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not a normal case.
No.
But the Eden thing is just weird to me. He's a weird guy. Here's what I see when I see him, because he works in a restaurant kitchen. So I already know he's doing drugs. My parents owned a restaurant. Like I know what's in the restaurant kitchen. So I can kind of see that. And then like his videos, one of his videos, he's like chopping stuff up with with a knife, and you're like, he's so quick with it. And I'm like, I keep trying to I'm waiting for somebody someplace to find some sort of connection with him, and maybe Brian somehow, like maybe it's I'm like, I don't want to be crazy. Allegedly him and Koberger and Brent all got together somehow. They all met on some server somewhere and started like hating women together. I don't know. It seems so weird.
All right. Well, hey, let's do part 2 of this tomorrow night.
For
'Cause I know
sure.
you're tired. I know you're tired, and I'm tired. And
Yeah.
I'm going to start part 2 around the same time tomorrow night, about 7 or 8. So
Your time. Okay.
yeah.
I'll check. I don't have anything to do tomorrow night. Works for me. I'm interested. I'll rewatch the beginning of this video too, so I can see where you guys were at.
Okay. All right. I'll see you
Cool.
tomorrow night, Miss Sophie.
Night, Robert.
Night. Hey guys, tune in tomorrow night for part 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, the True Crime Cult has left the building. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. And always look under that bed or behind that door for that boogeyman. He's still out there. Ha ha ha.